Hello my dear students, welcome to the next lecture in analog electronics. So we have already reviewed the BJT configuration and characteristics. We discussed about the basic common emitter amplifier. We analyzed how to fix the operating point. We discussed in detail about the DC load line. Then why a transistor has to be biased properly in order to have healthy amplification. Then selection of operating point, need for bias stabilization. We also saw the requirement of a biasing circuit. What are the three requirements? Then after that, we discuss different biasing circuits, their relative advantages and disadvantages. There is fixed bias, collector to base bias, then bias circuit with emitter resistor or emitter feedback bias, and finally we discuss the voltage divider bias, which is the most widely used uh, biasing circuit, and it is independent of beta, so that we can make some approximations and prove that it is independent of beta. We have done some problems to illustrate the independence of beta if a particular condition is satisfied. So in today's lecture we will discuss the concept of stability factor. So again we are going to analyze the stability factor for voltage divider circuit only, and we will see in detail how to conclude about the stability of a voltage divider bias circuit. So the stability factors is defined, actually stability factors are defined for each of the parameters affecting bias stability. So what are the parameters which affect bias stability? We are going to see how the collector current is going to be affected because of change in certain parameters. So there are three stability factors basically. The first one is S, which is depending on IC and ICO, the reverse saturation current. How much IC changes with respect to ICO. The second stability factor is checking what is the change in IC. This is dou IC by dou VB or delta IC by delta VBE. The fundamental thing is that concept is that we are going to see what happens to IC when VBE changes. How far IC changes with respect to VBE. Then S double dash gives the change in IC with respect to beta. So here you can see the numerator of each equation is the change in collector current as established by the change in the quantity in the denominator. So here you can see stability factor finally gives you an idea about the stability of this particular network. That is, the networks are quite stable and relatively insensitive to these variations if they have low stability factors. So temperature is the main concern here. Temperature causes variations in the reverse saturation current and all. So ultimately, if the stability factor is low, it means that the network is quite stable. Why should it be low? That is, the change in the numerator, should be very low compared to change in denominator, which means the stability factor has to be low to say that a network is stable. The higher the stability factor, the more sensitive is the network to variations in that parameter. Now, let us see the stability factor S first. What is S? It is giving you the change in IC with respect to ICBU. So, for this common emitter configuration, the collector current equation is like this. Beta IB plus ICEO. This is a common expression we are going to derive for common emitter configuration. So, IC is beta IB plus 1 plus beta times ICBO. So when ICBO changes by delta ICBO, IB changes by dou IB and IC changes by dou IC. Then what happens to the equations? It's dou, you can write it here, dou. So dou IC will, this equation in differential form if you write, it is dou IC equal to beta times dou IB plus 1 plus beta times dou ICBO. Parameters are changing. Okay, because of the change in temperature, if ICBO changes, we are going to see what happens. Then dividing throughout by dou IC, you get an expression like this. 1 equal to beta times dou IB by dou IC plus 1 plus beta times dou ICBO by dou IC. Then if you take it to the left, 1 minus beta dou IB by dou IC equal to 1 plus beta times dou ICBO by dou IC. Then you rearrange in this format. So you get dou ICBO by dou IC in this form. 1 minus beta. This will be the numerator and 1 plus beta will go to the denominator. What is S? S is dou IC by dou ICBO, which is the inverse of this. So S you get it as 1 plus beta divided by 1 minus beta into dou IB by dou IC. Okay. So we are going to see the stability factor for voltage divider or self-biased circuit. So this is the Thevenin equivalent of the base side. Here V Thevenin is marked as VT and R Thevenin is marked as RB here. Okay. So this is the Thevenin equivalent. We will form the equations for this voltage divider or self-biased circuit. So what is VT? It is VCC into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. You know R2 and R1. And R1 and R2 are replaced by RB, which is a parallel combination of R1 and R2, and you get the Thevenin equivalent R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. So applying KVL to the base circuit, we get VT equal to IB RB. You can see the circuit once again. VT equal to IB RB plus VBE plus IB plus IC into RE. So differentiating IC with respect to IC and considering VBE to be independent of IC, we get the VBE, we are considering it to be a constant. Then 0 equal to dou IB by dou IC into RB. This term, VBE differential, we take it as 0, and this one dou IB by dou IC into RE plus differential of IC with respect to IC is 1 plus RE. And you get an expression for dou IB by dou IC like this. When you simplify, dou IB by dou IC equal to minus RE by RE plus RB. Why do we need dou IB by dou IC here? Because you see this expression S is given by 1 plus beta by 1 minus beta into dou IB by dou IC. So in order to substitute there, you have derived the expression for dou IB by dou IC for this voltage divider bias circuit, taking its Thevenin equivalent. Okay. Now that you will give you the stability factor S. What is stability factor S? It is the change in IC with respect to ICBO. So that you get it as 1 plus beta divided by, this is dou IB by dou IC is minus RE by RB plus RE, and you get an expression like this for S. Okay. Now take this RE plus RB to the numerator. You will get it as 1 plus beta RE plus RB divided by RB plus 1 plus beta times RE. Okay. And now dividing each term by RE, you get an expression in terms of RB by RE. That is S is equal to 1 plus beta into 1 plus RB by RE by 1 plus beta into RB plus 1 plus beta plus RB by RE. Now, what are the observations that you can get from make from this expression for stability factor? What is the expression for stability factor? 1 plus beta into 1 plus RB by RE by 1 plus beta plus RB by RE. You want the stability factor to be minimum. That is the requirement here. So, how about this RB by RE? This ratio controls the value of this factor S. So, if RB by RE is very much less than 1, then you will get this S as 1 plus beta by 1 plus beta, which is equal to 1. Isn't it? If RB plus RE is very much less than 1. You can neglect this 1 plus RB by RE and cancel these two, and you can write an expression for S as equal to 1. So practically this RB by RE is not equal to 0. But to have better stability factor, we have to keep this ratio as small as possible. So I think you remember the condition when we did the approximate analysis, that is beta RE should be greater than or equal to 10 times R2. We see that this condition was approved when we did the problems and verified, isn't it? If this is greater than 10 R2, then the analysis is independent of beta. The system approximate analysis is valid, isn't it? We have already done that. So how can I again justify this based on the stability factor S? We want the stability factor to be minimum. So again, a condition is coming, RB by RE should be as small as possible. So to keep this RB by RE as small as possible, we want to make this RB small, isn't it? Or RE large. അങ്ങനെ രണ്ട് options ആണ്. We are having those two options. So how can you keep this RB small? So this RB is R1 parallel to R2. That is R1 R2 by R1 plus R2, isn't it? So due to small value of R1 and R2, if R1 parallel to R2 has to be small, if this R1 and R2, if both you make it small, then there will be large current drawn from VCC by this potential divider circuit. So if we design the potential divider circuit keeping R1 and R2 small, it is not possible. Current drawn will be large from VCC. So we can make R2 much smaller than R1. That is another option. Then parallel combination will again give small RB. If R2 is very much small than R1, again R1 R2 by R1 plus R2 will give you another small value. So that will help in avoiding the drawing of large current from VCC. So without drawing more current, this RB can be made small if R2 is made much smaller than R1. That is a solution. Another important aspect is that reducing RB will reduce input impedance of the circuit since RB comes in parallel with the input. So that is not advisable. You cannot make RB too small, isn't it? Or you cannot make R2 too small. So then the input impedance of the amplifier circuit will be less. So which is not desirable. Okay, so RB cannot be made very, very small, but there is a limitation. Then what about emitter resistance? Emitter resistance RE is another parameter here which you can increase, isn't it? RE, you can either increase RE. So what happens if you increase RE to reduce this RB by RE ratio? So again IE-RE drop will increase there and VCC is already fixed. So there will be huge drop across IE-RE. So again drop across RC will reduce. So this will again shift the operating point, which is not desirable. So there is a limit on increasing RE also. That is why the stability factor will is showing some control, some limit, giving some limitations in the designing of voltage divider bias circuit. So when designing this voltage divider bias circuit, S has to be maintained small. In order to keep S small, stability factor small, this RB has to be reasonably small and RE should not be very large also. So if RB by RE is fixed, S increases with beta. Therefore, stability decrease with increasing beta. So S has to be made independent of beta. So for small values of S, it is independent of beta. So S, if you somehow this design, if it makes S is equal to 1 plus beta by 1 plus beta equal to 1, then it is fine, isn't it? So RB by RE ഒരിക്കൽ ഫിക്സ് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ S should not depend on beta again. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് this beta RE should be greater than or equal to 10 R2 എന്ന് പറയുന്ന കണ്ടീഷൻ അവിടെ വാലിഡ് ആവുന്നത്. Okay. So RB is R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. So making R2 small can make this RB small and this RB by RE ratio can be made small like that. But that should be reasonably small only. It cannot be very small because it will affect the input impedance. And RE can be made large but not very large. And this is the condition. Beta RE greater than or equal to 10 R2 should be the condition there. Okay. Now, next stability factor is S dash. S dash is given by dou IC by dou VBE. That is variation of IC with respect to VBE. Please note that usually for exams, the problems are asked for the first stability factor S, but since all the stability factors are mentioned in the syllabus, we are deriving the expressions here. So IC is 1 plus beta ICO plus beta IB. Then VT is the Thevenin voltage, IB RB is a Thevenin equivalent resistance, plus VBE plus IB plus ICRE, and VBE expression from here you get it as VT minus this. Now by writing the equation, sorry, VBE, VT minus RE plus RB IB minus RE into IC. Now by writing this equation 20 in terms of IB, it is IB equal to IC minus 1 plus beta ICO by beta. This is the expression you get from here. Now substituting IB in equation 22, is it 22? No, substituting this expression in this expression for VBE, it is not 22, it is 21. So you get an expression like this. So VBE is equal to VT minus, you can simplify and form this equation number 23. So differentiating this equation with respect to VBE, what do you want? Do you want dou IC by dou VBE here? So differentiate with respect to VBE, you will get an expression like this. VT is independent of VBE and these two terms you are differentiating. With differentiating this with respect to, with respect to ICO, and beta is a constant, considered to be a constant, then you get an expression for dou IC by dou VBE like this, minus beta by RB plus 1 plus beta times RE, or S dash, this is S dash, dou IC by dou VBE, keeping other parameters constant. So this is minus beta by RB plus 1 plus beta times RE. Now what is the relation between S and S dash? We know that S is 1 plus beta into 1 plus RB plus by RE divided by 1 plus beta plus RB by RE. So multiplying both denominator and numerator by RE, you get an expression like this. Okay. Then S is equal to S by 1 plus beta into RE plus RB, you get an expression like this. So this 1 by RB plus 1 plus beta RE, what is that? You just got it here. Minus beta by RB plus 1 plus beta RE is here. So you can write this S dash as minus beta into S by 1 plus beta RE plus RB, or this is the expression for S dash. From this equation we can see that this S is small, this S dash will be small. Thus as we reduce S towards unity, we minimize the change of IC with respect to both VBE and ICO. Next is S double dash. S double dash is dou IC by dou beta for these parameters maintained constant, ICO, VBE, etc. So it is a variation of IC with beta when ICO and VBE are considered constant. We call, so the equation number 23 which we derived for S dash, we write it here. VBE is equal to VT minus this minus a term which is depending on ICO. So this is, we have taken this ICO to be constant. So this we are marking it with a variable V dash. This term, this whole term is replaced with V dash. This is equation number 28. Now V dash is this, and this is equal to RB plus RE ICO if beta is very much greater than 1. Now if you write the equation number 28 in terms of IC, which equation? This equation VBE, if you write in terms of IC, you will get an expression like this. So differentiating this equation with and taking V dash as independent of beta, this V dash is independent of beta, we get dou IC by dou beta in this format. Excuse me. So you get dou IC by dou beta, taking this V dash as independent of beta. This is just the differentiation of this expression with respect to beta. So denominator into differential of numerator. So this function u by v we have taken. So v into du by dt minus u into dv by dt and by v square. So denominator square, rb plus re into 1 plus beta the whole square. Okay. So denominator into Vt plus V dash minus Vbe. So beta, this is d by d beta, dou by dou beta, and this is minus beta into Vt plus V dash minus R minus Vbe. What is the differential of denominator with respect to beta? This Re, this expression. Okay, so this is the expression for dou Ic by dou beta. So multiplying the numerator and denominator by again with 1 plus beta, we can write this expression in terms of S. S into, what is S? S is equal to 1 plus beta Re plus Rb by Rb plus 1 plus beta times Re, which you got it from equation number 26. So multiplying the numerator and denominator by again by beta, we get dou Ic by dou beta like this. So again this S dash is depending on Ic, S by beta into 1 plus beta. So as S is minimized, S double dash is also minimized. So we have in this lecture we have derived the expressions for S, S dash and S double dash. And let us do some problems based on the stability factor S in the next lecture. So please watch this video and note down your doubts. Thank you.